here we have the factory cargo camera installed. The video quality is similar to the aftermarket one. I just wanted to point out two things. The lights down here, which illuminate the bed at night, are nice and bright. And then the brake lights, you'll notice here, show up red. So it's a pretty slick little upgrade as well.
Hey guys, my name's Doug with Infotainment.com. Today we're in the 2013 through 18 Ram pickup truck. And today we got a really cool upgrade we want to show you guys that's super easy to install. It's called a cargo camera. So what it does is it keeps an eye on your payload or your gooseneck if you have a heavy duty truck. Just really cool feature. Besides the backup camera, of course, now you can put the cargo camera in. So what we have here on Infotainment.com is our factory CHMSL camera. This will just basically mount where the third brake light is. You run your wiring from the camera up behind your radio, and then you use our radio interface to plug in your video input. And then last but not least, the OBD Genie cargo camera programmer will enable it on your 8.4-inch screen. So we have two different versions. We have the factory upgrade, and then we have an aftermarket upgrade. The camera quality between the two are pretty similar. Some guys just love the factory one because it's factory. Other guys love this because it's a little bit cheaper. But the concept's the same. You run the wiring behind the radio, and then you use our interface to accept the video onto your 8.4-inch display. And again, use the OBD Genie programmer to enable it on the screen. All right guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in the inside, the back seat here. We're gonna wanna remove the hangers back here. And then on the rear quarter panel here, we're going to pop this out and remove the Phillips head screw that's there. Now all you'll need is like a little flathead precision tool screwdriver. These are Torx T20s. We'll then remove the Phillips head screw that is in here. Once you remove the screw, you just kind of pull off on that quarter just to kind of loosen it up a little bit. And what we're going to do is we just want to loosen it just enough so we can get the headliner down. All right guys, to drop the headliner, there's like this little piece back here. You have to kind of pull it in front of it, just to drop it enough. Don't worry if it wrinkles a little bit, it flattens right back out. But just to give you enough room to fish the wires from your third brake light on the back of your cab. All right, so today we're gonna go ahead and show you guys how to install the aftermarket third brake light, the cargo camera here. So basically all you have to do is just remove these two screws, which are Phillips heads. That'll just pop out of place. You unplug the connector here. Then what you're going to want to do with the replacement, it's got double-sided tape here for the gasket. So you just peel that off. You're going to fish your video or your camera wiring into the cab, plug your brake light connection in here, and then screw it into place. Now, some people like to use a little bit of sealant just to give it an extra good grip, but in this case we're just going to go ahead and install it the way it is. It will come with two little rubber washers in there, so you can put your factory screws right through it. And then repeat the same process on the right side. All right, now we're back in the cab. What we're gonna do is just fish the wire down. We're gonna plug it into our loom here. So it only goes in one way, don't force it. You'll see the two arrows point to each other. Then just put it into place. Now what we can do is unravel this. And basically what we're gonna wanna do is just feed this down the back pillar here. We'll tuck it up under here. And then we're gonna run it down, just kind of tucking it behind the panel. You don't need to rip apart the whole truck. You're just trying to tuck it right behind the weather stripping or the panel. So we'll come down here, just slowly tucking it around, down the floorboard, up to behind the steering column. Now that we have it up under here, we're gonna wanna put it above the brake pedal and gas pedal and use zip ties to keep it out of the way. And then we can run it behind our radio display. All right, now to remove the bezel that goes around your radio, I'm gonna lift up on this panel here, little rubber piece. We use our T20 bit to remove these two screws. Now in some of the trucks, there may be a screw in this cubby here. Those of you who have the center console, you just pop out the tray and that'll give you access to the screws to remove the center console so you can pop this bezel out of place. Once you do that, it just pops right out. Then you just remove the 4 screws, the 7mm screws that hold in your radio. Once you remove your radio, lift up on this lever here to pop it out of place, along with the other connections. Now that you've done that, you remove the radio. Included with our kit is a little pass-through harness for your switched accessory cigarette lighter. And what this does is it utilizes that, and it gives you a few little butt splices here to tap into the camera's power and ground, so it's nice and easy. You don't have to splice into any other wires in the truck. Now you can use whatever you want to get your accessory power and ground, but we'll include this kit, which makes it really easy. So what we'll do is we'll fish this up behind the radio, and then we'll go ahead and install this part. All right, now this particular vehicle, the switched power source cigarette lighter is on the left side down here. If you do have the center console, it'll be kind of on the right side, a little bit easier to get to. But in any case, what I like to do here is use kind of a flathead screwdriver to push the end or the clip in to release it. Then all we have to do is use our pass-through plug it back into there. Now we have a switched power source here. So we're just basically, you could use crimping tools. Some people who don't have a ton of tools will just use needle nose pliers, whatnot. But in any case, we're just going to want to bring it into here. Crimp these in. What we want to do is we just want to make sure we got a nice tight connection there. The excess wiring we can kind of just tuck back behind. Now what we're going to do is we're going to install our camera interface. Now those of you who have a factory installed backup camera, just keep the yellow ones connected. This will just feed the camera image right into the display how it is now. We're going to use this blue connector in this case to install or to plug in our cargo camera. It'll say cargo camera on the little wire below it. So that's our video input for cargo camera. Now, those of you who don't have a backup camera, right now is the best time to do it because similar to the cargo camera, you just have power ground and then your camera input here, or you can run in your backup camera so you can have two cameras. But in this case, we went ahead and just plugged in our cargo camera into the blue. Now we just use this pass-through harness. And we're gonna plug this back into our radio along with the other connectors. Lift up on the lever, snap it into place. We're now ready to reinstall our 4 screws. Now we can put our bezel back into place. And then reinstall our 2 torque screws up here. All right, the last and final step to get the cargo camera to work is we actually have to activate it through the vehicle's BCM. That will then send the signal that the radio needs to be able to activate that feature. So we'll stick the vehicle in the run position for a start. We're going to plug the programmer into the OBD2 port and we're going to wait for the green light. Okay, now that we have the green light, we can remove it and shut the vehicle off. All right, guys, now we let the vehicle sleep for a few minutes. We can go ahead and start it up now. Now we'll notice within our controls or our Uconnect app soft key, the cargo camera, it's also within controls as well, so you can activate it now. We put a couple chairs back there just to kind of give you a glimpse of what it looks like when you have payload. The grid lines do show up. You can disable that by tying the 2 white wires together, which is super easy. And then also you can switch between the backup camera and the cargo camera. So you can always have a good idea what's going on behind you. Now, another great thing about the Genie is it'll give you 10 seconds to look through your cargo camera and your backup camera as long as it's the aftermarket one, not connected to the LIN bus. So we have an aftermarket camera in here now, the tailgate one, so we can see that for 10 seconds, which is great if you're towing a boat or a trailer or whatnot, but just a really slick upgrade for the Ram truck. All right, guys, one thing I wanted to point out real quick, if you have a 13, 14, or 15 Ram truck and you have the factory 8.4-inch screen, you're going to need to be running the latest update on it, which is, as of right now, summer of 2017, it's a 17 update. If you go to Control, Settings, and then System Information, it'll tell you your update. As long as it's running the 17 or higher, you're great. Those of you who have a 16, 17, or 18 Ram truck, you don't need to worry about anything. The cargo camera will work plug and play. So again, if you have a 13, 14, or 15, make sure you're running the latest software. You can get it done through navrepair.com. You can go through your local dealer. Even the dealer or the Uconnect website will allow you to download the latest update as well in most cases. Otherwise, if you buy the upgrade from Infotainment.com, all of our radios come with the latest update, so you don't need to worry about that as well. So come check us out at Infotainment.com. We do backup cameras, cargo cameras, front cameras. We can add a CD player to your truck. If you have the small little screen in here and you want to upgrade to the nice big screen, we do that as well. Uconnect Bluetooth. A lot of these tradesman trucks don't have Bluetooth. We can do that, satellite radio, you name it. So come check us out, Infotainment.com. Thanks for watching, guys.